It's Will here, coming again with another unboxing. This one's actually a special unboxing because it is pretty huge for being something so small. So with that, let me introduce you to this game, Black Powder Waterloo. So here we go, guys. This is the box. Along with it, we have some other special ones. We have Highlanders, which we'll get into more. And we were received a special gift, which we'll look into, which is also themed to this. So let's get right into it. As you can see, this box is huge. It takes up a lot of the screen here. This is the British starter set. On the back here. And as you can see here on the back, we have pictures of the armies painted up in their traditional style and a picture of everything you get inside. You do get the building. Each one of these boxes will come with a building because that's part of missions and stuff in terrain. It's epic scale, you might as well get it. Then we have on the back here a little introduction about it and everything you get in here. So this is my real experience getting into a Napoleonic era, Black Powder, Civil War era miniature range. I've always been interested in painting at least some units from the 28mm scale version of the American Civil War because they get the Gatling gun and stuff like that, and more other rifles. I am a fan of the more brass cartridge era of combats, though I do love the era where you go way before that with the Roman Empire era of stuff, and even a bit of the mix of medieval knights meets, blunderbusses and stuff. Whereas this is set in 1817, I believe. This is the era where we're going to see, which is like a huge gap from like 17 to 60. In 1860, we're going to see, revolvers, bolt action starting to, like lever actions, paper cartridges, brass, all that stuff is coming out. So this is the last big hurrah. But there is if you're interested in this and, maybe, Waterloo doesn't intrigue you, there is a separate book you can buy which has the generic rules for the Black Powder range, which is this. There's an epic version and there's a normal version. The normal version definitely has a lot more models, and you're playing with a smaller scale size, so you're playing with kind of like bolt action to 2 units in a commander sort of idea. Whereas in this version, you're playing, the idea is you only buy one of these boxes and maybe a side unit from your army specific. So like for British, it's the Highlanders. And you literally just play the Battle of Waterloo. There's no real things you have to add to it. You don't have to go crazy. And that's what is a great thing about this starter box, which is that literally, and just like a lot of Warlord starter boxes too, if you're coming from a different game, for the most part, anything you buy in a starter box from a specific faction or sub-faction you want to play in that game, it comes with everything you'll ever want to need, and the rest is just bonus material you can add on to it for fun. And they do take care and curate all their games that they have actively supported that comes from Warlord, and especially a lot of this Black Powder stuff. This was their first line, really, and that and Hail Caesar were their first 2 major games as far as I'm aware. So they really put emphasis on these things. So these are really well-made rules. They've actually been credited, at least in their books from what I've read, I haven't found any other sources, as the game that has saved miniature wargaming, for at least for the historical side in England. So we'll see with that. But anyways, I've distracted you guys long enough. Let us open this box. So inside, I did take a flip through here just to see what came in it. There was a flat part here that had the book. That was it. I pulled the book out because I was reading it. But besides that, this is literally everything you see in here. So starting off, we have a painting guide, because this is small and maybe your first time getting into a historical at this scale. This kind of teaches you how to do things using just generic paints in general. Shows you how to use speed paints and stuff like around here. And it's got an inside with, at least for my faction, what colors to use and what regiments they were. And it shows you some examples. And it will kind of tell you what is what. So I'm going to be happy for that. I love having examples. Here we have the bases. So all the starter boxes are color coded, so you can literally just plug and play. That's what these holes are. So we have some bases. We have our infantry bases, we have our commander bases, and our artillery bases. So you get a bunch of those, and they are marked on the sprue what they are, because these are new. These are all new models from last year as of this filming. So you get a bunch of bases. Like I said, these Waterloo boxes are literally designed to be, you literally just buy the box, you play some games of Epic alongside your, you know, your normal 28 heroic scale black powder or Caesar or bolt action in my case. On the side here we have the different boxes in black powder. Black powder 2nd edition did just come out last year, and so if you want to play again more Warhammer scaled stuff, go just black powder, and the book looks beautiful even for a regular. They give us dice, so you can literally just start. We have our sprues. As British, they come in red. I'm pretty sure the French come in blue, and the Prussians come in black, I believe. But anyways, we have, if this will zoom in, here we go, we have the Duders. And they're actually really, really, really nicely detailed for being, these are more like a 18 mil scale to a 16 mil scale from what I've been told. But you get a sprue, which has all those. You get your cannoneers, your command group. These dudes that you put your flags on, and your sergeant basically for the unit, and your cannon. So this whole sprue, this whole sprue is basically one unit of dudes. So each line is like a body in the unit. For those who've played, you know, Flames of War, this is going to look very familiar to you. And if you actually want to see with their thing, apparently from end to end this is 40 millimeter. So I'm actually going to go grab a model here for a quick second. And this is actually a sneak peek into, these are supposed to be 40 millimeter. I don't believe you. So that's pretty big. Now, if this is 40 millimeter, we have a model that's actually about the right size. So I think that Bangalore is actually the closest I have for being 40 millimeter that I've printed. So we have 1 and 10. So we have 10 units of dudes. So that's gonna be a lot. Then we have, looks like our cavalry. And this looks like our heavy cavalry. So I haven't read the rules yet about how these work. I've been told that heavy, there's not really a huge difference between light and heavy. Heavy is more slower, just like your infantry tanks. And your light cavalry is more like your cruiser tank or your breakthrough tank. So you get a bunch of these horses. Your hussars. There's hussars in each box, I believe, except for the Prussians. But the hussars, knowing hussars arrive. So there is one of those. Two of those. And then I believe, so there's 3 of those. And then there is 4 light cavalry. Now, some special rules I have learned about this army is that they're very shooty. They get like a cool rocket that you can shoot, like basically a heavy mortar that you get, and they get some weird countercharge shit. But besides that, they suck at everything else. They're basically your Americans, whatever have you, or your Space Marines. But really nice detail. I know it might be hard to see on the camera here, but they are some of the best like small minis I've seen. Actually better than Flames of War for their infantry building here. Oh, and it looks like a book of flags that you can cut out and glue onto your sticks, so you don't have to worry about painting flags. So that's cool. then we have our building, which, as you can see here, is built. It is by Sriracha. So if you guys want to know how it's like to build one of these things, feel free to check out my Pegasus Bridge playlist. I have a bunch of these models from these guys on here, and I can say quick little phrase about them. Their models are actually really good. They're cheap, they're durable, they're nice. I like their wood buildings. They just, depending on where you're getting the instructions from, I'd recommend getting their instructions from the actual Italeri or Sriracha site themselves, because they're more in-depth, because they're meant for display boards, whereas the stuff that they give you for some of the wargaming terrain piece versions is very bland or very, yeah, just go to Sriracha's website and look for the corresponding building, and you'll find a way more in-depth version of how to build things, especially for that Pegasus Bridge. Highly recommend going to the Italeri site and getting the instructions for that instead of the one that comes from Warlord, because that was trash. But yeah, so with that, guys, I'm gonna go, and in the next video, which should be right after this one, we're gonna talk about the Highlanders in the box. But yeah, thanks for watching. We will see you guys in that video. Click the video. Click it. Click the video. You know you want to.